Now, the big clean-up is underway in Chelmsford after thousands of people packed into Highlands Park over the weekend to hear Kings of Leon, Kasabian and Florence and the Machine at this year's V Festival.
Yeah, sadly we weren't there. Police say they made 50 arrests this year, mainly for drugs offences or minor assaults, but most people were very well behaved. Tom Barton was there as the campers headed home.
It's time to pack up for another year, although many decided not just to leave their litter behind, but their tents as well.
The main stage is already a skeleton of its former self, but it's going to take another week and a half to return Highlands Park to its natural state. This is the 15th year the V Festival has come to Chelmsford, and organisers are once again hailing it a big success.
It's been wonderful, really good, great performances, and also it's just been a really nice day, a couple of days. You know, it seems quite calm, very relaxed. We haven't had any issues. You know, it's been good.
It wasn't just the fans having a great time. The artists also love coming to our part of the world.
I think the thing about V is because I'd never been and I was interested to see what they were going to be like, but they just seemed really up for having a good time, and kind of everyone was going crazy like yesterday, and the tent was just really vibey, so that was, yeah, I think people just come for a party, don't they, which is good.
Yes, the Chelmsford crowd are always lively. Essex is always good to me, actually. I've done a gig in Southend recently, which was just as crazy, but there wasn't quite as many people.
About a year ago, we stayed out by Dis for a little while. We rented a place to kind of just practice and stuff, record.
How was that? It's a lovely bit of the world.
Yeah, I liked it because we lived out on this farm out there, and they'd be laying in rapeseed one time, and winter wheat and stuff like that, and then corn. So I got to go out and do a little harvesting with the boys out there.
Not everyone entered into the spirit of the weekend. Police say they made a total of 50 arrests this year, mostly for drugs offences or minor assaults. They also seized 52 cars on the roads near Highlands Park after a number of offences, including having no tax or insurance, were picked up by automatic number plate recognition cameras. The site's enormous clean-up operation may still be going on, but already preparations are underway for next year. In fact, tickets for V2011 go on sale in the morning. Tom Barton, Anglia News, Chelmsford.
Brilliant. I love those gumboots with the leopard print fur. I want some.
Well, you would look great in those. But Tom told me an interesting thing about the tents. All the tents that the campers leave behind, the local Rotary Club come along and they salvage the usable ones and give them away to charity.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a great idea, although nasty job. I don't fancy collecting all those tents after a weekend in Essex. Right, don't forget you can see an extended interview with Kate Nash on our website. That's itv.com/Anglia. And from tomorrow, there'll be more backstage footage and interviews from the V Festival.
There are also items from the programme and, of course, the full weather forecast for the Anglia region.
And you can follow us on Twitter at ITV Anglia 2. You're on Twitter, aren't you?
I certainly am, and I need more followers, so get following. Now, it's one of the most recognisable and best-loved cars ever made, but not even the biggest fan of the Citroën 2CV would claim they were designed for racing.
But that's exactly what they were doing this weekend. 27 of them took part in a 24-hour race at the Snetterton track in Norfolk, and, against all the odds, they all finished, as Kate Prout reports now.
Affectionately known as the umbrella on wheels, the 2CV has a unique charm. Designed after the Second World War to provide cheap transport for French farmers and peasants, it is remarkably versatile and reliable. A good job, really, when it needs to keep going constantly for 24 hours, completing more than 700 laps of the Snetterton circuit. The Iceni racing team from Hingham in Norfolk have come prepared. With 4 drivers and 3 times as many backroom staff, they're leaving nothing to chance.
Anything can happen in 24 hours. We've got two race engines and a spare. The guys have got down to sort of 12-minute engine changes now. We've got spare panels, we've got spare wheels, we've got as much spare things as we could think to bring, to be honest, because there's no telling what's going to happen in the next 24 hours.
While they deal with the mechanics, Becky Page may well have the most important job.
Kind of left to pot noodles in the night whilst I go to bed, but we've got barbecue tomorrow night and breakfast we've got beans, sausages and scrambled egg.
They're not renowned for their speed, but actually the 2CV's tiny 602cc engine can reach up to 19 miles an hour.
I like going fast slowly, if that makes sense to you. 24-hour race is just gives you the time. It's a team effort. Instead of a 6-lap dash or 10-lap dash where you can make a mistake and it's all over unless your weekend had it, we've got 24 hours to remedy any mistake that I make.
After all the build-up, the race finally starts at 5 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. And continues through the night and into Sunday. 24 hours later and all 27 cars are going to make it to the finish line.
We've had an interesting 24 hours. I think we've had one car on its side in the middle of the night that rolled. We had some very heavy rain in the small hours, which made life quite interesting for the drivers. I think it's a testament to all the teams that at the end of the 24 hours, I think every single car that started will still be running. Some of them have done more laps than others, but they will all still be running at the end of the event.
First over the line, number 3 RB Racing, with Iceni Racing a respectable 12th place. A hero's welcome for all the cars as they head back to the pits. And of course, the obligatory podium celebrations. Exhausted drivers, but exhilarated drivers, and ready to do it all again next year. Kate Brout, Anglia News.
Great stuff. What great cars. Aren't they
Faster
lovely?
than mine, anyway. We are watching the ITV News Hour. In a couple of minutes, here's the national news and here's what to expect. Now, when it comes to gardening, there are a few things you need to do to get the best out of your plant, as we've been discovering on the Anglia allotment. And of course, they need water, and there's been plenty of that, and they need sunshine, but they also require an awful lot of patience.
Very true. Barbara and John Long from Hitchin in Hertfordshire had to wait for 50 years for their cactus to start flowering. It suddenly shot up this summer, growing to nearly 10 feet. And at the very top, it sprouted these flowers. It's quite unusual too, because these cactuses don't normally flower in this country.
I mean, we weren't waiting for it to flower. We just got a nice cactus that we were bringing along.
Just
and it was
looking after,
growing nicely.
That's all. And we thought that was it.
By the middle of June, it was nearly 10 foot high. Well, that was the last time I measured it. I hadn't got a ruler long enough.
And they're aptly named Long.
Very good. I know, great name. Works very well for their gardening.
Absolutely.
Well, let's take a look and see what the weather's going to have for us this evening. And so lots of rain and strong winds on their way, so be careful if you're going out and about in that this evening.
Absolutely, especially if you're on the roads. Well, that's just about it from us for tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Have a lovely evening.